The story begins with a novelist named Tess, who is preparing to go to the library while talking to a friend. Tess is a professional writer who has authored several thriller and mystery books. Today, she is scheduled to go to the library to meet her fans. After getting ready, she drives her car and reaches the library. Upon arriving near her car, she's approached by a woman named Ramona, who works at the library. Ramona smiles and congratulates Tess on her new book being published. After this, Tess goes inside the library, delivers a speech to her fans, and shares some interesting insights. Once the event is over, Tess starts talking to Ramona again before heading home. Ramona tells Tess that she knows a shortcut route to get home faster, and insists that Tess must take only that road. Before Tess leaves, Ramona sets the location of this shortcut route on Tess's car's GPS. Tess heads off on the shortcut, thinking she'll reach home quickly. However, after driving some distance, her car runs over some pieces of wood lying on the road. Suddenly, a piece of wood gets stuck in the tire and a nail embedded in it causes a puncture. Tess immediately stops the car and becomes panicked as the location is completely deserted. She steps out of the car and sees that the tire has been punctured by a nail embedded in the wood. She looks around, but no one's in sight. She sees a bus approaching and tries to stop it, but the bus speeds past without stopping. A little while later, another car passes by. Tess tries to stop this car, and it pulls over. She thanks the driver and asks for help. The man agrees to help Tess. The man parks his car on the side, gets out, and introduces himself as Lester. Lester is a very large and bulky man. He takes out a tire from Tess's car and starts changing the punctured one. Tess feels relieved, thinking she can go home soon. But then she notices a piece of wood with a nail lying in Lester's vehicle. She immediately realizes that Lester is probably the one who punctured her car's tire. Before Tess can react, Lester abruptly stands up, grabs Tess by the throat, and knocks her unconscious with a punch. In the next scene, when Tess regains consciousness, she finds Lester assaulting her. She is in immense pain and screams loudly, struggling to push Lester away. But Lester brutally beats her and continues his heinous act. After finishing his deed, Lester lifts Tess in her semi-conscious state and throws her into a pool of water in the middle of the jungle. Lester checks her and assumes she is dead. Then he drags Tess by the hand and leaves her inside a large pipe running away from the scene. As soon as Lester leaves, we see that Tess is still alive. Although she is severely injured and can barely stand, she gathers her courage and starts to move forward. Then she sees that there are already many decomposed bodies of girls inside that pipe, all of whom Lester had raped and killed. Somehow, Tess stumbles out of the pipe. With renewed courage, she struggles to walk toward her home. While walking on the road, a car approaches from behind. Tess is terribly frightened and hides by the roadside. After the car passes, she walks a little further and spots a shop. She goes into the shop's washroom to clean herself up slightly. Then she uses the shop's phone to call a friend, but her friend is unavailable. She leaves a recorded message explaining everything that happened to her and how a man forced himself upon her. After that, she books a cab and goes back to her house. Upon arriving home, Tess is in shock and fears Lester might return, so she immediately takes out her gun and starts loading bullets into it. Then she takes a bath and treats her injuries at home instead of going to the hospital. She stays indoors for a few days. Gradually, her wounds start healing. Then she decides that she will not tell anyone about this incident, and that no matter what, she will take her revenge herself. One morning, a neighbor comes to her house and asks about the bruises on her face. Tess avoids telling her the truth, saying it was just a small accident. They both talk while having coffee. Just then, Tess receives a call informing her that someone had dropped off her car for repairs and also left her bag, and she needed to go pick them up. Tess immediately realizes that this is Lester's cleverness to prevent the police from finding the car in a deserted place and to avoid suspicion on anyone. Tess goes to the location to pick up her car. There, she meets a woman who gives Tess the keys to the car and her bag. The woman recognizes Tess from her ID and mentions that she's the famous writer whose book recently became popular. She also asks about the injury on Tess's face, and Tess repeats that it was just a small accident. The woman then says that perhaps her boyfriend brought the car for repairs because Tess must have been resting, and she describes the man as a plump kind of person. Tess is surprised and says he wasn't her boyfriend, and perhaps her boyfriend sent someone else. She asks if they took down the man's name or address. The woman says they only record the details of the person receiving the car. She also mentions that the boy gave them the bag, so they called Tess. As they talk, they get to know each other quite well. The woman walks Tess out, and as Tess is about to leave, the woman stops her and shares her own painful story. She reveals that when she was 12, her stepfather subjected her to great cruelty and mistreatment, and also ruined one of her eyes. She even removes her prosthetic eye to show Tess. Tess encourages her, gets into her car, and drives back home. After getting home, Tess starts researching Ramona on Google, as Ramona had been insistent on her taking the shortcut route. After some research, Tess learns that Ramona has 2 sons, and both are drivers. Tess concludes that Ramona intentionally told her to take the shortcut, set the location, and then sent a photo of her to her driver's son Lester, so Lester could easily kill her in a deserted area. Tess was 99% sure of her plan, but to be fully confirmed, she decides to go to Ramona's house. When night falls, Tess takes out her gun and secretly leaves her house to reach her car, making sure no neighbor sees her. She drives to Ramona's house to kill her. As soon as Ramona opens the door, Tess points the pistol at her. Ramona gets scared and screams, asking why Tess has a gun, claiming she did nothing. But Tess doesn't listen and says Ramona and her son planned to kill her and committed such a heinous act. Tess is about to shoot, but Ramona hits Tess with a flower pot, grabs the gun, and points it at her. Ramona then confesses, saying, "Yes, I planned to kill you, and I told my son to rape you and finish you off on the way because I was jealous of your success." As Ramona is about to shoot, Tess instantly knocks the gun out of her hand and attacks Ramona with a knife. Ramona is injured. Tess picks up the gun and shoots Ramona. After killing Ramona, she goes into the house's bathroom to clean herself up. As she is leaving, she sees a picture of Ramona's 2 sons hanging in the house where she also sees Lester's younger brother. The scene changes, and we see Tess near a petrol pump. She sees Lester getting out of his truck, and he has a bandage on his arm. Tess starts following Lester. She reaches his hideout in her car before he does and is ready with her gun. A little later, a truck arrives, and Tess assumes it is Lester. As the man gets out of the truck, Tess immediately shoots him. After shooting, she sees that it is not Lester, but his younger brother. Seeing this, she starts crying, believing she hastily killed an innocent man, even if he was Lester's brother. Next, Tess goes into a nearby house. She turns on the light and goes into another room, where she sees many photos of girls displayed on the wall. These photos show that both brothers together assaulted many girls, brutally killed them, and then did a photo shoot with their bodies. Seeing this, Tess realizes that both brothers kidnapped girls to satisfy their desires and commit evil acts. Just then, a photo of Tess emerges from the printer placed there. Seeing it, she vaguely remembers that when Lester was assaulting her, his younger brother was taking pictures of everything nearby. Now, Tess feels no regret for killing Lester's younger brother because both brothers were involved in these crimes. She takes her photo and leaves the house. Outside, she hears a noise. She sees that Lester has arrived and is busy with some work. Tess slowly approaches Lester. Lester realizes someone is behind him. He turns around and is shocked to see Tess standing there. He asks, "How are you alive? I killed you." Tess immediately shoots him in the thigh. Lester stands up and angrily starts walking toward Tess. Then she shoots him in the stomach, but this time too he is not seriously affected and stands up again. Tess shoots once more, but the gun runs out of bullets. As Lester advances, Tess runs away in fear. Before Lester can get out to catch her, Tess hits him on the head with a piece of wood embedded with a nail. Lester screams in pain and pulls the nail-ridden wood out of his head while in agony. Tess uses this time to reload her gun. Seeing this, Lester gets scared and tries to save himself by getting into the truck and driving away, but he was severely weakened by the 2 bullet wounds, so he falls down. Tess points the gun at him, and this time,
she shoots him in his private part. Lester struggles with pain and finally meets a horrible death. In this way, Tess's revenge is complete. After this, she goes to the place where Lester assaulted her. When she goes there, she finds her ID lying on the ground. She takes her ID and returns to her home. After coming home, she decides that she will never tell anyone about the incident that happened to her. She provides the information about all the girls killed by Lester and his brother to their families. Then, she destroys all the evidence of the crime committed against her and burns the photo that Lester's brother had taken at the time. After completing her revenge, she moves on with her life. The story ends here.